guys? Welcome to You're Not My Type, Bro, a show where we talk about politics, current events, and so much more. We're really happy. You're such a fucking dick.
Fist
Could
bump.
you show
Stop
your
it.
insecurities
Stop
anymore?
Stop
Fist
it.
bump.
Somebody, somebody's attention seeking
Damn,
today.
somebody's not a professional. You're
Notice
not a
how he loves it
professional.
though. And take two.
I like that you were doing it to me last time, so I like it that you're doing it to somebody else, bitch.
Just you wait.
Let's rotate.
Thanks, guys. We really appreciate you joining us every week. Again, I think that like I said the last time, I hope you have it just as much fun as we do. That's why we're doing it.
I actually almost shaved, but I decided to go with it a bit longer. But look, it's nicely trimmed.
Is it?
Not really, no.
No.
I can't afford it.
All right. Well, let's jump into our normal routine:
Mhm.
cocktails and complaints.
Cheers. Salud.
Cheers.
All right,
Gin.
Marco.
Perfect. Yes.
What is your complaint?
All right, things that make me want to kill, and top of the list, very easy this week, and it should be banned. It should be illegal. It should be outlawed, and people should lose their lives over it. Is those stupid hand dryers?
Hand dryers.
Hand dryers,
Like a hand, like a.
like
Hand dryer. Yeah. When you click.
Oh.
Yeah. You know when you spend 47 minutes drying your hand and it doesn't do shit and it's still wet. There you go. You know what I'm talking about.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. No, it is
It
true.
is so true.
No, okay.
Actually, the ones that you dip your hands in and pull up, those are
Even
pretty good.
then, but dude, I'm at the gym, dude, and the energy wasted
They look
and
so gross because they're just like catching all the nasty water.
There's a little reservoir down there. Catches all the water.
dude, I don't even know why I bother. I go click there, and even in the off chance that it's actually strong enough, you're there for 9 minutes, dude. And you tell me you left with your hands dry once, and I don't get it. You can't. I know you want to save paper, but really it's the restaurants cheaping out so they don't have to restock, and I get it. But it doesn't work, and it drives me mental. I don't. It drives. It's the little things in life.
I'm not gonna lie. I hate a damn blow dry. I hate it.
I hate
Give
it,
me paper.
man.
I know it's terrible for the environment, but if you get like those recycled, the paper towels made of recycled materials,
Yeah.
like I mean that is good. But like sitting, I'm with you on that one. Actually,
Dude.
it's annoying. It's so fucking annoying.
Listen, the day we wake up and China and the U.S. and Russia have stopped their nuclear waste that ruins this planet, and they actually agreed to stop it, we can do the switch to hand dryers.
Yeah.
Until such time, I promise you that the paper won't make a freaking difference. And you know they're doing it like at our at the LA Fitness. They changed they took all the paper away, and
yeah.
and changed it, and it's so weak. And this is the shit that pisses me off. It's one thing when it's super strong, but then it's super loud.
But also, are you doing it the right way?
Yeah,
You're supposed to like, and then you're supposed
Right,
yeah, you're supposed to
right,
know that.
yeah.
Some people just do this.
And this thing is so weak, it doesn't do anything. The strong one is super loud, not good for your hearing.
Yeah.
And by the way, I do sometimes need paper, man. What if I'd like to have the option for paper?
Yeah.
So I decided this bugs me enough. I'm moving out of the country.
And then you're gonna go to the next country and you're gonna find what?
Same thing.
And blow dryers.
Straw that broke the camel's back.
Theo.
Theo.
Okay, so I recently had a friend take me out for my birthday. It was like a week after my birthday. I was able to get away and get free. And we went to this event that happens ever so often here in Los Angeles. I'm not going to say the name of the event, but they're doing this party more often because it's very popular and people like to go. And so we get down. They give you the secret location, and so you go.
Yeah. Eyes wide shut. Shit. I like it. Damn.
No, they text you the location of the party to the ticket holders like an hour or two prior to the event. And then you get the address and you go there. And there are usually these events that are happening in like warehouse type spaces. This particular space was a lot smaller than they normally are. And it was kind of south of downtown LA. You could see that little 7th Street bridge because half of it was outside, half of it was inside. And as soon as we walk through, there's like a line. I'm saying hi to friends or whatever. And the line keeps going and going and going. This is after getting in. And then I'm still walking because my first thing that I always do is I look for a bathroom. Everybody that knows me knows I have to pee every 5 minutes. So I just want to know where the bathrooms are. So I go in And I'm looking around. Then I'm like, where are the bathrooms? They're like, oh, it's in the front. And I was like, you mean the line that I just walked by to try and get in to after I got in? You mean that's the line to the bathroom? They're like, yeah. There was 6 porta potties that they had off to the side
Oh,
of
I
the
hate
front.
porta potties.
And I'm
Wow.
like, this is no, this is not gonna work because I had just
Oh,
walked past all these people and there are
I
at least
can't.
50 people in line, and I already had to pee. So I go through the crowd, and I have a friend that tells me, oh, there's another bathroom. So I go to the other bathroom. I look where that line is, and that also has a line too, but it's like a one door, one toilet
Oh,
bathroom, and there's a line for that one too. And I'm like, okay. So I get in that line. I'm like, because I can't enjoy myself at the party if I have a full bladder, right? So I'm in line and I'm waiting, and there's like a curtain that goes behind me. It lines the wall, and I'm like, oh, and I was like, what is this? Somebody's like, oh, that's the dark room. And for those of people that don't know what a dark room is, it's like at these parties where guys will go into these dark room and do things with each other. Okay. And so I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna wait here. And then I started saying to myself, thinking to myself, I was like, damn, I want to be in this line for like 40 minutes. I'm missed 40 minutes of the party of having fun with my friends. I'm just so irritated. So I was like, I know what I'm gonna do. So I lit the little curtain and I went into the dark room. And I was like, my goal was to find an empty cup. So I get into the dark room, and all this activity is going on and buzzing on around me. I'm looking on the ground, and I see a cup, and I pick it up. It's an empty cup. I'm like, okay. So I go into a corner where no one is, and I like pee in the cup. I know. I pee in the cup, and I'm like, okay. So what am I gonna do with
I
this?
can't judge a man when I've peed in 60 cups in my life. So.
I was like, I would have done
Well,
the same thing.
I was like, well, what am I gonna do? So I was like, I don't want to leave it here because somebody will kick it, and they'll get pee on them. So I was like, okay, I'll take it out to where there's a place where I can just like toss it like in the corner or somewhere. So then I come out of the dark room and I have this, so it looks like I have a drink, and then I look at the crowd and I'm like, there's no way. I'm gonna walk through this crowd with a cup full of piss because somebody is going to bump into me and the piss is gonna go fly everywhere into the crowd and all over me. So I was just like, okay. So I left the space. I left the dark room, and there's like a corner in the room somewhere. So I just like kind of hid it over there in the corner. And my complaint is to wrap this story up.
23 minutes later.
I know, right? I'm very elaborate. I like to elaborate. But like if you're gonna have an event and you're gonna sell 400 tickets, whatever it is,
Oh,
have enough porta potties or have a place where somebody can use the bathroom where this is not an issue. It's so freaking annoying and it happens way too often.
yeah.
That is my complaint.
I can't agree more with that.
65, $70 tickets to go to these types of things.
Oh, wow.
And you don't have a bathroom for me?
That is annoying.
You will have pissed on your floor. I'm sorry. That's what's gonna happen.
Well, unfortunately, we're out of time for today. So see you next week.
I like to
I
paint a
actually-
picture.
That's actually fine that you took time because I don't have a complaint for the week.
Oh, stop.
No, I don't have a complaint.
My complaint is that you don't have a complaint. That's impossible.
Then you complain about
You
that.
you live in LA, you don't have a complaint. You live on planet Earth, you
You
don't have a
can
complaint.
complain about anything.
Okay.
Who cares?
You know what? Let me go to my list. Hang on. Here's. I have like 9 pages of
Well,
complaints.
why don't you save those complaints for next time?
Yeah.
It's fine. We don't have to have complaints. He had a great week.
All right.
He had a great week. We can
But
move on.
why force a complaint?
Yeah,
I know, but
I'll have one next
yeah.
week.
Energy.
I can't have a guy have a great week when I had a shitty week. I need you to be miserable with me.
Maybe the universe is trying to tell you something. If you had a shit.
The universe hates me.
All right, let's jump right into our hot topics.
All right.
The first topic is TikTok possibly being banned
Oh.
in the U.S.
Well, not possibly. It is being banned.
Well,
the ban was approved. No?
Okay, so
It went to the Supreme Court now.
well, actually, I have some notes here about that. ByteDance, which is the parent company of the Chinese parent company of TikTok, they're supposed to sell by January 19th or before January 19th of 2025. And if they don't, then that means that the app will no longer be available for download in the U.S. It won't be able to be distributed anymore on any of the
I know a
platforms.
lot of people whose life will be shattered. Their whole life is
Exactly.
TikTok.
So, like, but hold on one
It won't be
second.
able to be downloaded or used.
It won't be able to be downloaded. If you already have the app on your phone, you still have access to the app.
Oh, wow.
But it will no longer be able to be distributed and be on the platforms. TikTok has over 170 million users. A lot of people are influencers. They use TikTok as a platform to like sell their products or whatever it is they're doing. So I remember when Donald Trump was in office the first time, he said that he was going to ban TikTok. Now he's saying that, what did he say? He said during a press conference on Monday, President-elect Donald Trump said he has a warm spot for TikTok as he believes it helps him connect with young voters. Though he tried to ban it his first term in office, so now he's wanting to possibly keep it around. But I
Wait,
say
did he ban it?
he wanted to ban it his first term.
So who banned it?
It's not well. Joe Biden did legislation where they have to pass it over to. It has to go into American hands. It can't be like a Chinese held like thing.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And that's by January 19th of 2025.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Who actually decided to ban it?
Yeah, Biden did it. So my thing on that is, I think that
Because they think it's a Chinese spy thing.
it's like cyber war is like a real thing, right? So it could be potentially dangerous. So these were some of the statements they were making, that it's potentially giving access to data that they can use against us.
Yeah.
You know, many government officials have seen TikTok as a national security threat for several years, worried that since it is based in Beijing, they have access to American data and sharing it with Chinese government surveillance.
Of course.
So, like, what do you guys think about that? I kind of feel like I'm not a TikToker, but it's weird because I just went to visit my sister or my family in Texas for Thanksgiving, and every time my sister had something, I'd be, oh, that's cute. Oh, I got it on TikTok. Oh, what you doing? Oh, TikTok. This bitch is on TikTok all the damn time,
Yeah.
and all my friends are always sending me like TikTok videos and stuff. But I'm not a TikToker, so I don't really like watch them or like scroll. I don't do that.
I'm the same.
So
I have friends, and one in particular that comes to mind. I'm not lying to you. I think she's going to throw herself off the roof. TikTok is her life. She gets the news from it. And like you, when she sends me links over time, I click. I'm like, oh, dude. And it's like, okay, I get it. You get your news from a 16-year-old, and everything that's on TikTok is true. And it's also in a way pathetic. But so then again, so is all social media. I have two thoughts on it. Thought number one, there's no way. I mean, let's not bullshit each other. There's no way something is Chinese-owned that has 180 million people. And they're not using it for. I mean, we'd be kidding ourselves, you know. Of course, it's. I mean, let's not bullshit ourselves, okay? And no,
only 180 million.
yeah, you know. So of course the Chinese are using it, and obviously it must be bad enough to the point where they want to ban it. Hello. Thought number two. Who gives a shit? You know. The same people that are concerned with privacy are the same people that go on Facebook and post what they have for breakfast in their own apartment and post their address and phone number.
Yeah.
So what fucking privacy? You know, the Apple privacy is the greatest scam of all time. You know, the iPhone is private. And people are like, oh, I buy the iPhone because it's private. But then, you idiot, the first thing you do with the iPhone is you go and post your address and your breakfast and a picture of what you're eating, who you're eating with, where you're eating it, what you paid for it, and your credit card and your receipt and how much you tipped on. So the whole privacy is a complete gimmick. So, like, what do you want to know? I live in Studio City. How much private can it be? But I get it. Look, let's not bullshit each other. If it's Chinese owned and they have 180 million people, of course, obviously, clearly enough, if Biden signed a ban for it, I mean, it tells you it must be legit, you know.
Yeah, I also don't have much, skin in the game because I'm not a big TikToker. But there's always something new.
But I
Like,
did want
there's
to.
if they end it, I would think there would be some sort of U.S. based company that does the same thing that replaces it.
Well, at least it would be a U.S. based company.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Agreed.
And, well, I didn't mention this. It says TikTok app from app stores would prohibit future software updates. So while you could still use the app, if they push out a new update, it may not work any longer.
I'm surprised they're not.
You know what I mean?
They're not wiping it.
But remember when OnlyFans was telling people we're taking porn down, you're not gonna be able to do porn anymore? They reversed that real quick.
It was like a day.
Yeah, they reversed that. They reversed that
day.
super quick. So I don't know. Maybe TikTok. What they're helping American companies. I'm gonna assume advertise and make money, and that helps our country. Like I don't know. Like
The one thing that
everything
really,
is interconnected.
and I think with China that bugs me is, everything, they allow nothing that we do there, and they censor it and wipe it. YouTube isn't, I mean, all kinds of stuff, right? And then good, let them take a little dose of their own medicine. You know what I mean? I
Yeah, I honestly don't care what happens to it. Personally speaking.
yeah, and I'm not on TikTok, so
Yeah.
I hate them all equally. But yeah. Next topic. You really don't have a complaint?
No.
Leave the man
I don't have a
alone.
complaint.
You're about to give him one.
I know. I'm trying.
Yeah.
Fist bump.
Boom.
I love that's our thing.
I haven't gotten a fist bump.
Fist bump.
No, I'm good.
All right, fine.
So our
It's gotta be
next
organic.
our
Yeah.
next topic is lack/scarcity mindset versus abundance mindset. So as I've
That's very
over-
sophisticated English
Mhm.
for me as a foreigner.
as just some background, as I'm personally on a personal spiritual journey and realigning myself with a spiritual path, I meditate every day, and some days I meditate on certain concepts.
Oh,
So this sort of came from, manifestation, and you're supposed to align yourself with that type of
Hmm.
mindset, abundance.
Mhm.
Um, and so I was researching and thinking about this concept of lack mindset versus abundance, and as I'm meditating on it and searching about that within myself, I was able to basically expand into other areas of life. So before I get into it, let me just define that. So like a lack mentality is it's basically leading to feelings of scarcity or fear. It causes it usually comes from a place of insecurity, place of jealousy, which I think is like the worst energy you could have.
some of my best friends.
Best friends.
And basically, there's just not enough seats at the table, and so people are always operating from a mindset of competing, or I feel like it's like crabs in a barrel, versus having an abundant mindset and looking at people with or looking at situations with optimism, or there is enough seats at the table. And one of the things I've noticed is especially I see it in the workplace all the time. I see it within minority groups. I see it within gay men pulling each other, or gays pulling each other down, women pulling each other down. Um, one thing that I saw that I thought was wild was I think it was right after the election. It was a Latino man being interviewed, and the interviewer asked him why he voted for Trump, and his reasoning was immigration.
Mm.
But the wild thing about it is he didn't speak English. It was
I remember that. Yeah,
it was
yeah, yeah, yeah,
subtitles.
He's
yeah,
wearing
yeah,
a hat.
And I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
you're in this mindset of like there's not enough for everyone, and I'm not wanting to get into the issue of immigration, but I think people just have this mindset of like they can't see anyone do better, or
Mhm.
they there's just a finite of resources versus like always being competitive and looking at different possibilities and
Yeah, yeah,
areas of
I know what you
opportunity.
mean. Yeah,
And I
yeah.
think it I'm looking at it like when I extrapolate it into like a macrocosm, it really does trickle into like basically every aspect of life from what I'm noticing. So I wanted to bring that up, and because I think it's a place of where I'll be talking from a lot, so that there's a basis for me going forward, since this is kind of my journey. But I wanted to get your take on lack mindset versus abundance
That's why he
mindset.
doesn't have a complaint this week because he has a struggle this week.
Um,
Life is a struggle.
Yeah, fair enough.
100.
Theo, you go first.
Well, from
I got to think about it. This is so intelligent. I actually have to put some thought in.
well, we've talked about
Okay,
it.
I got my thoughts ready.
Stop.
So,
We've I've discussed with you like my journey that I've been on recently. Like I came across someone who recommended that I listen to Joe Dispenza, who's this guru, if you will. And so I started listening to him and was trying to align myself with those types of ideas of even on my little notes today, I put a little post-it note because I made my intention earlier today when I was doing my meditation, because I've been meditating almost every day now since I worked. It was a photographer that I worked with, and he was very spiritual in that way. And I've been meditating since the day after that photo shoot every day, except for when like you have a crazy weekend and you don't get up and you don't do
Yeah.
it.
When
You
was
know,
this?
this was, I think, I'm gonna do that for like September-ish, maybe, I think it was. And so I've been doing it every day since then.
Yeah.
And I have to say it has helped me a lot, as far as like just having maintaining a positive outlook on life, because I've had some rough times recently. I think 2024 was a rough year for a lot of people, and we need something to like to look to and to have faith and to just try and maintain this level of positivity and the idea that things are going to get better.
Yeah.
And you have to put that out there in the universe, and you have to like get on that vibration and align that and make that happen. And for me, like I was doing really well with that in the beginning, and I had told you certain things that had been happening, and a lot of those things continue to happen. But then I think I hit a wall,
Mhm.
and because with meditation and stuff, for me anyway, like when I first started, and everybody I think goes through this, they're like, I need to get up, I need to move around, I can't sit through this, I can't do this. And it's like, well, you just have to kind of force yourself to just like sit there and go through it. And
Muscle.
you're right, exactly. And so you're gonna have all these thoughts that go through your mind while you're doing it, and you just have
Yep.
to just change your focus and just sit there and to get through it. And I wrote down that I was trying to keep. I've run into some troubles recently with it, where it's like I've been meditating every day, and I just have been stuck in this place that I can't get out of. And you don't want to focus on lack, because the idea is right to like live in the feeling of abundance, so that it's already
Yeah, you're
there.
working from a place of insecurity.
Right.
Once you work from there, then that leads to envy, jealousy, intimidation, or just fear like that. And you never want to. You're not going to take risk.
Right.
You're not going to take risk.
And I just feel like I said, right now I've been having a hard time, and I'm still doing my meditations and getting up and doing that. But like living in Los Angeles and trying to do this, I don't want to use that as an excuse, but like you could be so zen and calm. You did your meditation and everything. You have your little bracelet on with the chakras. You have all that stuff, and then you like step out your door and you get in your car
And you wanna
drive
shoot
down the
somebody,
street,
yeah.
and you're like, ah.
No.
And I mean, I think, and I know that that's okay. It's gonna happen. That's life. But just been trying to like stay on at a certain level and maintain that, and stay in that feeling of abundance. But it gets really hard and challenging when you're like, say like right now I've been applying to a lot of tech positions because I'm transitioning into tech, and to
Have you
get like
considered OnlyFans?
no.
I'm considering it, and you aren't.
But you're getting like 10 rejection letters a day, and that is it's almost, you get like you start your day up here and you get knocked down a peg, and you get knocked down a peg, and and that feels like a lot like lack, right? To me. And then it's like you
Where's
remember
the
you have to
abundance
like
coming in?
what's that?
Where's the abundance coming in? Maybe not focus on that.
Yeah, I mean it's tough. I'm doing it. I plan on still continuing to do it, but I mean obviously there's challenges along the way, and you can't be that like
No,
24/7.
no
You know what I
one's
mean?
that way. Because I mean, if you think about it from a spiritual standpoint, you have the yin and the yang. You can't have dark without the light. You can't be light all the time.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
the point.
Yeah.
Who the fuck
Never
wants
looked
to talk
at
to
it
that?
that way.
No, and I
Yeah.
can relate to what Theo says, man. You finally put yourself, you fix yourself enough to a point where you feel like, okay, I can maintain leaving this apartment and making it through the day just to leave this facility, and the first thing you are met with or by is 10 assholes taking it all apart,
Mm.
Mhm.
and you're supposed to forgive and always take the higher road. And therapy has helped me a lot. I even did this thing, EMDR, eye movement desensitization stuff. It's really good. Look it
What
up.
is
It's EMDR. It's incredibly, it's just trust me on it. Look it up. And
Cool.
it's it helps you get over certain traumatic experiences or memories and stuff. And like I said many episodes ago, I used to love the world, and now I see the truth. And also there's another saying, as a Christian, I'm supposed to forgive, and that will always be my greatest obstacle. So, and that's not to be negative or morbid.
Why are we? What's the point of forgiveness?
Well, I think
For your
forgive.
own peace.
Yeah,
not
for your
them.
own peace, correct. But the problem is when you spend a life of growing up where you're taught to do nothing but hold grudges,
Mhm.
and you're still thinking about a dude in second grade who made fun of you. Listen, that doesn't mean it affects me to the point where I can't function. And just in my lifetime, I haven't seen the world get better. I've seen the world get worse, right? Because there's no money in peace. There's no profit in peace. I get that. That doesn't mean I can't go have a good time. But I tell you something very powerful that happened yesterday. I realized, Samantha and I, we're on the couch, and we found on IPTV this channel. It's the relaxation channel, right?
Mhm.
and you can go to any country. It has every aspect you want. Like you go to Italy, Rome, or forest, waterfalls, roses, flowers, animals. Right? Space. I mean, the craziest shit in 4K.
It's like aerial views.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah.
love that. I love that.
And yeah, and we're watching the space thing, and you actually see how the world is rotating, and it blew my mind. So we're rotating 1,000 miles an hour around our own axis, while we're going 81,000 miles an hour through space. And I'm sitting here on a couch in a city that's so insignificant that doesn't matter, and you actually understand how powerful you actually are and how little power a place like this should have over you. But yet the day-to-day thing takes over, right? And you're struggling. And I'm seeing this aerial footage of somewhere in the middle of nowhere. I'm like, shit, if I had the money, I'd go there and build a little tent. I'll be the fuck gone, dude. But it's hard because you got to maintain. I know what Theo says, man. Sometimes you just want to punch somebody in the face.
To your point about the world not getting better, I feel like I've arrived at this point where I'm trying to practice being the observer. So it allows me to be emotionally detached and stay more of a positive mindset. But it seems like the world isn't getting better because there's more of a lack mindset. Like, I think that's like the root of racism. Like, we don't want you at the table because you're taking something from us. And I
No, because of the fear of you taking something from us.
It's like a lot of the fear of taking something
correct.
from us, and or the insecurity of it when that's not necessarily the case. And I think that's like the root of a lot of problems. I just wanted to just kind of gauge your temperature on that, and I wanted to kind of have a foundation for that because it's kind of like a launching pad for where my mind is going in general. So I just wanted to close that out.
Listen, you got to take care of yourself, and as long as you're happy and you're not hurting anybody, do your thing. LA, I don't know of a place more lonely than this, but I also don't know of a place where you can ironically then be yourself.
Yeah,
well, you know what I mean.
That you can be alone and not be lonely.
Correct. Absolutely.
Well, of course, I feel like. Well, I think this is just true. Like just expressing gratitude. That's where your abundance comes from. So, I may have gotten those like 10 rejection letters, but what do I have? I have a home.
There you go.
And I have
I
do have
great
something
husband,
that I'm doing on the side. So you have to like be grateful for the things that you have because then in that moment you're living in abundance and you're attracting it to you, right?
As long as I have Samantha, I don't care if I'm on a parking bench, but
This year was a rough year for me, but I would say like even in the darkest moments or what I perceived. Because it's a mindset. What I perceive to be the darkest moment, I always express gratitude because it was a lesson, and because of those lessons, it has changed the mindset and put me in a state of abundance.
Yeah. Isn't it funny? They always tell you look at the glass as half full, right? And sometimes, always look at the glass as half empty. But sometimes it's also, it could always be worse. I get it. People always tell you it could be worse, but fuck, it could also be better.
It could also be
let's be honest. It also,
what are you like? What am I learning from this?
I'm tired of learning. I've been learning for 46 years. I just want to win the fucking lottery, get $600 million, take the lump sum, and fucking
do what?
Yeah, I don't know.
Move.
Give you guys $1 million, we quit, and fucking thanks for sending in a few voicemails.
You're getting $600 million. You're giving me $1 million.
You're tired of learning.
No, $1 million to split.
He got $600 million. He's giving $1 million.
You're tired of learning. Isn't that the whole point of the show?
I know.
Like, what the fuck am I doing?
Wow.
I'm so desperate. I'm here with 2 black gay guys.
That's greedy. Greedy.
Oh, man. No, I get it. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we've exhausted that one. And
I do like that.
It will come up in I think other.
I love the topic.
A lot of ways to expound on that, and I think it'll come up in a lot of other topics in the future. Our third topic.
Oh.
This is your question.
Oh.
Should a 10-year-old be able to decide if they're going to have trans surgery?
Should a 10-year-old decide if they're going to have trans surgery? No. And in every normal country on planet Earth, you would have asked that once. People would have just left a funny one and moved on. In Switzerland, in Sweden, in Norway, only in America have we found yet again a way to politicize something that everybody deep down inside knows is dumb, but they can't say it because if they say it, they have to admit that whoever party brought it up,
but where is
it's
this
dumb.
happening, though?
Okay, it doesn't matter. A 10-year-old.
Illegal aliens.
No, but like,
the fact that it's on the news, and it's an issue, shows how dumb we have become
Right, because
as
it's
a
not really an
civilization.
issue.
It's not. Listen, a 10-year-old making a medical decision.
They can't.
They can't.
That's what
They cannot. Yes.
But the topic is should if a 10-year-old comes and says, "Mom, I identify." Dude, when I was 10, I dressed in my mom's outfits. The whole point of as an adult is to protect your child from making adult decisions.
So, but to do okay, I think
Okay,
there's a
okay.
misconception with the whole trans process.
It's not even
You
about
can't-
trans.
No, I'm saying you can't just do that. There's a medical team that you have to go to. The mother couldn't just make that decision.
No,
They
I
would have to hit a
get that.
psychology analysis, and no psychologist is going to sign off on a 10
Exactly. How many times as a 10-year-old have you changed? Dude, when I was 10, I wanted to jump. No, Jordan, it's a true story. I wanted to jump off I was so inspired by Superman. Superman was my life.
Oh, sorry.
Superman was my life. My dad had to make me a shirt and give me a red towel. And okay, I actually wanted to jump off the balcony because I thought I could fly. I was so seriously believed I could fly that I actually would have jumped off. So, I mean, what are we even discussing, man?
Well,
I think they just want to scare people. 'Cause
That's
it's like
exactly
it's like
what-
this,
yeah.
it's the United States of America. No one's just like, come on.
Should a
listen, it says-
10-year-old make it?
It says a new study by researchers at Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health found little to no utilization of gender-affirming surgeries by transgender and gender-diverse minors in the U.S. However, gender-affirming care is on the uprise. There's puberty blocking drugs and sex hormones to help kids transition or young children transition. There's a story that was in Reuters about a trans young girl named Ryace, Ryace, was assigned male at birth, but by the time she was 4, it was clear to her parents that she identified as a girl. She referred to herself as a girl. She wanted to dress as a girl, but her
It's
parents
insane.
feared for her safety if they let her live openly as a girl. So they let her they made a deal with her and said, "Hey, you can dress like a girl at home, but when you go out, you can't dress as you dress as a boy." I think well, the topic is 10-year-olds having trans surgery. That doesn't obviously happen
Yeah.
at all, or rarely, or at all. I think that with what the parents are doing for this young girl, she feels that she's a girl. Like, we don't know what that's like.
And
We are in our
typically know-
bodies, and we feel
they
comfortable in our
That's
bodies.
typically know
awesome.
at a young age.
Great.
They typically know at a very young age.
I mean,
And
4
great
years old.
That girl does.
If you talk to most trans people, they will tell you they've known that they were different or felt that they were in the wrong body for
Mhm.
a long time. Like I said, when I worked on the Traverse part on the suicide hotline, I would have kids as young as 9. And I didn't quite understand the trans experience, but it's something that they're aware of. It's usually not something that just clicks. It's not something, when we talked on a previous episode about our coming out experience, this usually happens for them
Maybe even earlier. Yeah.
even earlier.
Yeah.
But to do any type of medical procedure on a child, I actually got into it with this dude once because he's a gay man, but he came off as like really transphobic, and he's one of those people that I think just gets on Reddit or different websites and gets his information from. And he was talking about like how all these kids, like they go to school and the school is issuing them like hormone blockers and blah blah blah. And I'm like, I'm like, let's just use our common sense here. This is the United States of America, and it doesn't matter.
Nobody's giving away free drugs.
Yeah.
Also, you cannot take somebody's child and make a medical decision for
Listen,
them,
man.
and whatever adults are involved in that are getting sued.
A 10-year-old doesn't need to be activated. And I know in this state there was a lot of kindergarten teachers and school teachers trying to promote. It's all good and good, dude. Become an adult, become 18, and then make your own decision.
Well, I feel
that's simple.
like. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you
No,
off.
no,
I'm
no, no.
sorry.
That's it. I mean, it's become a fashion statement. It's like parents pushing their kid almost into that stuff to say, look how open and cool I am. Support. It's like, dude, when I was 10 years old, I mean, we were 10 years old, dude. To be a
This is
kid,
a relatively small.
but still, the fact that
We're
it's
just
on
talking
you
about-
is
The
insane.
fact that trans
man.
people are even like a national topic to me is
It's
insane
insane.
because they're a relatively tiny
Right.
population.
Exactly.
Like, why most people that have an opinion have probably never.
Yeah,
even
why don't
met
you
a
let
trans
exactly?
person.
Why don't we let the 10-year-old decide if they want cancer surgery or not? You know, it's like
You say 18 years old. I
or
would
21,
like to,
whatever it is, 16.
I would say
whatever.
like 6. Yeah, I would say
16,
like
yeah,
16 years
16,
old.
yeah. But even then, you
because
have regrets.
well, I was just going to say, like in that type of situation where there's stories about people, as they say, detransitioning, which it's a commonly used term, but it's considered controversial within the transgender community. Just to put that out there, when you use the term,
No wonder Kamala can't give an
detransitioning,
opinion because she doesn't want to offend
if
anybody.
someone transitions, then later decides to reverse that transition, that's what it's typically called. And so, like, obviously,
Isn't
you
that
don't want to
very
be.
rare though?
Oh, there is
I
a
would
story
assume
out
that
there
it
where
is.
yes,
Yes,
yeah,
There's
yes.
stories, but it's
yeah.
really
Yeah,
rare
yeah.
for you
Yeah.
to
But I'm
go
saying if
through.
you're like if you're within that age, if you're in that age group where by some strange situation that ends up happening, and then you become older and you're like, I think I made the wrong decision. And it's like, you know what I mean?
It's like what's going on in the NCAA right now. You know, women don't want people that are originally men being in their locker room. Okay,
I agree.
okay, the whole NCAA has whatever thousands of women, and they said today on TV less than 10 people that are trans.
Hmm.
Okay, first and foremost, it's not an issue. Number two, you can't expect 1,000 people to change for 10 people. Shit, that won't happen in a straight community, let alone in a thing.
Two things here.
Give them a gender neutral bathroom, be done with it.
The psychology of a trans person, like, first of all, they probably wouldn't want to be naked in front of it because especially if they haven't had bottom surgery, because they wouldn't want to show that. That's not something that they would be proud of. They
Right.
would be very private about that. Um, Secondly, I think we did talk about this in another episode. I don't know. I still have difficulty wrapping my head around like a trans woman being in a female league because we're talking about capacity versus capability.
Hmm.
Right.
And so I'm probably sure I'm going to be called transphobic for this, but I support trans rights and transitioning. But if you're going through medical procedures, then to me, that's a medical condition. And to me, it
100%.
would be like,
100%.
if you were handicapped, you're not going to necessarily, and maybe this is a poor example, but like if something were to handicap you so that you couldn't perform at full capacity, such as like if you were suddenly a paraplegic, you're not going to be in the NBA,
Hmm.
and that sucks. That's sad, but that's life, and I just think that you know it's a capacity versus capability for
Yeah, and it has been an issue because I've saw on a couple of neutral shows, so to speak, where women were like, well, if you know if you're still a dude, so to speak, to them, we don't want you in our locker room. On the other hand, I as a guy, I don't mind. You can come to my locker room all you want. I've
There's a
dude,
safety thing
yeah,
for women. Though.
correct. It's
Yeah.
a safety thing, correct, and that respect has to go both ways.
But do they?
In my
Do
in a
trans
man's
women
locker
want
room?
to be in the women's
Listen,
locker room?
in
I
a
feel
man's locker room? No.
this is happening.
No, yeah, no, it has. I've seen it in the volleyball league. Guys that identify as women, they want to be in that locker room, and because they could already, they're legitimately cheating themselves and are being treated as a woman. And some of them have gone through the sex change. A lot of them haven't because they can't afford it and haven't done that. They've done the hormone treatment, but not the actual surgery. And that they don't necessarily get naked in front of maybe the women,
Right.
but they are in the locker room.
Want to go into the men's room.
Correct.
Okay.
But make no mistake,
Yeah.
they're in the women's locker room. And come to the dude's locker room. I promise you, in the dude's locker room, as long as the piping looks the same, nobody's going to care.
They're not going to be comfortable.
No, I know that.
It's not going to be.
I'm just saying, you
Yeah.
have no problem coming in there. You're going to be welcome.
All right. Well, that was a
That was awesome.
very lively session.
We're going to get a lot of comments and questions and emails on that one and phone calls.
For
I can't
sure.
wait.
Maybe.
But let's be honest. It's, I will also say this, though. It's discussions like this that are honest and open that go places.
Yeah.
Because see, this discussion is built on honesty and respect and not on politicizing the issue.
And
that's
honestly,
that's what I like about it.
I would actually appreciate you guys weighing in and presenting a view. Like if you have an opposing view and can support it, I would love to change my mind. I love having my mind expanded. So please do comment in the comment section.
Just ask us, not Theo, because we're experts on the issue.
Clearly. Clearly.
All right, well, let's just close this route real quick with a quick game. It's not really a game. It's just like I think it's a nice activity to kind of.
Wait, I don't even have an effect for that.
Good. Leave it alone.
Too late.
Damn it, I missed that one.
I think it'll be a good idea or a nice activity to allow our viewers to to know us a bit more.
Oh, okay.
In a very creative way.
Oh,
So,
I like this already.
what? And it doesn't have to be a ranking or your number one, but just name one of your favorite TV shows from childhood to now,
Jeez.
and why.
One of your favorite TV shows from childhood.
There's like
From
hundreds.
childhood to now, pick one. One of your favorite TV shows.
Man.
One show.
One, just one. One of
Over
your
the whole time when I was a kid until
Over
now.
a 40-year
not your
period?
number one, a show, and why.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's tough.
I don't even think I could pick a number one, even if I had to.
Right? There's like several.
So, like one that comes to mind that resonates with you, maybe in this current moment.
Okay, this is one of my favorite shows. It's okay.
Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
I was literally thinking the same.
Stop it. Actually, that is one of my shows. But I love British comedy,
Oh yeah.
and so I love a lot of British shows, but I'm just going to use this one.
Let me guess. Little Britain.
I love that one, but that's not the one I'm
Oh.
going to say.
Oh, wait, can I
Uh,
guess? Because that's interesting.
sure.
Okay, it can be EastEnders. Footballers' Wives.
I love that one too. But
That was a great- no?
that was a good show.
Damn it.
I used to watch that with your ex all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cell Block
yeah.
H, EastEnders, Coronation Street.
No,
Damn.
I'm just going to tell you. 'Cause
All right.
you're okay.
Yeah.
So there's a show called Keeping Up Appearances.
Oh, okay.
And,
She's awesome.
She's awesome.
She's amazing.
The lead actor, she's amazing. And I got into the show because my dad,
It's a great show,
DFW, on PBS, they showed
Great show.
British television. They showed Benny Hill.
Benny Hill.
And I would
Tommy
watch
Kimmel,
that with my dad because
yeah,
I would want to see
yeah.
the naked girls running around.
Exactly. Yeah, that-
Benny Hill. Yeah.
Yeah.
He would watch Benny Hill. He would watch a show called Chef, and he would watch this show, Keeping Up Appearances, about
Yeah.
this woman who came
Yeah.
from this family that wasn't so well to do, but she thought she was so much more than her sisters, and so much more. And so
Yeah.
show is Keeping Up Appearances. Hyacinth Bouquet is the lead, and the Patricia Routledge is she plays
She's
the role.
amazing,
This
man.
woman, she is so good. I go to bed watching this show even now,
Yeah.
like even this week I go to bed watching the show,
Really?
and it's from like the early 80s, or
80s,
something.
I grew up watching it with grandma because she lived in England. So
Yeah.
I watched it nightly. She was
What streaming service is it on?
You can BBC, streaming service, BritBox,
BritBox, okay.
BRIT box.
What was the other show with Judi Dench and her husband? What was it called?
I don't remember the name of it, but I know which one. you're
Yeah, it's
talking
funny.
about.
But Keeping Up Appearances. I remember my grandmother laughing tears.
It's
Up
amazing.
Appearances,
There's
yeah.
this
It was
episode
so
when they go on a cruise.
Yeah.
You have to watch
So
this
funny,
episode.
dude.
But my sister bought me the whole volume DVD, so I actually we have a DVD player. Believe it or not.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
So I put the DVD in every night and watch it. It's amazing. You'll love it. It's so funny.
I love
It's
it.
that British. It's that British humor. Like you gotta.
Try quick.
Yeah.
British humor is the best humor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man,
Alright, Marco.
that's a rough one. I mean, I can give you every minute a different answer. But
Yeah.
if we're talking childhood nostalgia, I mean, I've been spending half my life in England, with British. Since you said British, I'll choose something completely different. I'll go with Beverly Hills 90210.
The original.
Really?
No, the original. Yeah, no. How dare you insult me with that question? You. How dare you? Hello, Luke Perry. I remember.
Oh, rest in peace.
Yeah,
right?
let's
Yeah,
just-
yeah,
he was my idol, man, and
from kids or
he wanted to. No, he had an aneurysm.
oh yeah, the Indian.
Aneurysm, yeah. Dorothy.
Shannon Doherty.
Shannon Doherty.
Dorothy passed away from that.
This year, right?
Yeah, I
Yes.
think so.
Oh, sad.
Luke Perry had the greatest hairstyle
Okay.
of I've ever seen in my life. And I remember as a kid trying to duplicate it. I didn't have a hairline. So I would take my now I have it, of course. I would take my dad's razor blade and go shave here so I have the same hairline as Luke Perry so I can try to duplicate the hair style he had. He was the most
nail it?
Huh?
Did you nail it?
No, I could never come close. And he would try to talk like him. I'd be like, oh, yeah, Brenda, it just never worked. And then in school, I tried to act like him, but of course, it never worked, and I probably looked like a complete doofus. But Beverly Hills 90210,
I would have never guessed that one.
Yeah, yeah.
I would
yeah.
not be either.
I wasn't
The original
wasn't-
I
man.
can see that back. Everyone watched it back
man.
then.
I wanted.
We didn't have all these channels.
Yeah.
I wanted to have a Letterman's jacket so bad, and be in Beverly Hills and with palm trees and girls and everybody has Ferraris and shit. And then I came here and washed dishes.
Yeah.
But I have the hairline now.
Yeah.
So that's good. Oh man! But I think every minute I can give a different answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
There's
yeah.
a ton of great.
There's
shows.
so many good
Yeah.
shows.
How about you? We'll be back after this commercial
Okay.
break.
No,
Stay
I was-
tuned.
Ask the question. Don't have an answer prepared.
There was. No, I have
We're-
one. I was like, which one do I want to?
Now you want to change your mind?
No,
A few
I'm
words
gonna
from our
say-
sponsor.
I was gonna say Game of Thrones, but that's
way too new.
no. But would you shut up?
Yeah,
Childhood
change
to
your
now.
mind already.
Childhood to now.
I watched the Golden Girls.
Oh, love him.
Okay. I feel
Love
like
it.
every
Love
day,
Love
Golden Girls is one of their favorite shows.
Love him.
Really?
Love it.
Because I feel
Yes.
like a lot of
We
people-
can all
when I
quote
say-
it. We all know, like, yeah.
Love him.
I feel like a lot of gays that I talk to, they're like, I've never seen that before.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Or
Or they
it's a
don't.
gay show. It's Mark Cherry who did Desperate Housewives.
Excuse me, you're not
Yeah.
gay if you don't know Golden Girls.
Exactly.
I said that on camera.
But I think they might be of like a certain age. Maybe.
No.
I I would think about that, but then I would think I was a kid when that show was on. But then I also think about like I Love Lucy. I wasn't alive when that show was on, and I know that show in and out.
In and out,
So,
like Samantha.
yeah.
That's her.
So you
the
can,
pill
like-
show.
Yeah,
Remember
but I-
the pill?
Yeah.
Actually, I was having this conversation with someone like a week ago. Like I think Gen Z. Like for example, I didn't grow up with Elvis, but I know who that is.
Mhm.
But there's certain people that they don't know who like Miss Yelly is. They don't
Yeah.
know who these big names are.
Yeah.
Golden Girls.
I think
is-
maybe because they're inundated with information.
There's so much out there
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
And like when you think about like there's a lot of artists right now who somebody told me the other day, I don't remember the girl's name, but they're like, "Oh, she's like the Christina Aguilera to like the Britney Spears of
Yeah.
like art." And I'm like, "Who? What is this girl's
Mhm.
name?" So like, I mean, that's a
Oh,
sign that you're getting
Sabrina
old.
Carpenter.
Yeah, okay, Sabrina Carpenter, I think that's what it was. But I was like, I don't know.
Well, I like that show because I watch it pretty much every day. Like that's what I watch when I go to sleep because I
Mhm.
know it, so I don't
Yeah.
have to pay attention to it.
Yeah.
And it's just like and their humor's class.
That's how we have it. I
It's
Love
so
Lucy
good.
on in the
It's so
background.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for the other night that I Love Lucy, the chocolate episode when the chocolate.
Oh, when
is
she's
on
eating the
there.
chocolate.
Yeah.
Well, see, we all know that.
We're like
That's so weird to me though that like Gen Z, like they're not in tune to like stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like what did
It's a
when
shame.
did it just stop? Just because I know there's a lot of content out there, but people you usually go to the classics because you're curious and you want to know why did everybody like I Love Lucy so much? And then you like get pulled into it and then you know.
Yeah.
Are they exposed to it?
How could they not be from like their parents? I would think that their parents would know. Like
We've become so disconnected in 2007 when the iPhone.
so many
came out.
distractions. There's so
when,
much.
When the iPhone came out, man, it changed everything for good and worse. It doesn't matter. It just is what it is. But it really.
There's so much content and not enough hours in the day.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But once you find something that you like, it doesn't matter. Like it'll be 20 years from now. I'll still be watching I Love
I
Lucy.
still have.
I'll still be.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
still
I'll
watch
still be watching that.
hello.
over
Yeah.
and over. Show just
Yeah. I'll be like,
still good.
turn on the Golden Girl.
In the friend.
You're my confidant.
Oh yeah.
Dude, and another grandma thing. Yeah, all these memories. Yeah, Golden Girls, man, has some great moments.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I remember.
That's a good choice. That was a good choice.
Golden.
All right,
Kudos.
guys. Well, I think that's our show for
Yeah.
today. And thank you so much for joining us. We love having you. And we can't wait to see you guys again.
We will see you next week.
Bye, guys. Follow
Bye.
us on social.